Most of the civil services aspirants must have heard about his name when they dream about Labasana in Missouri, Lal Bahadur Shastri, National Academy of Administration. But have you ever wondered why only Lal Bahadur Shastri? Why not anyone else? Because this 5 feet 2 inches tall politician of India, he became the epitome of honesty, the example of courage and dedication to serve the nation. He was not a very astounding and not a very outstanding career politician. But when it comes to the devotion towards the motherland, when it comes to the service to the humanity, there are hardly any examples equal to him and very difficult to find also. So in this session today, myself Abhishek Singh Rathore, I will be taking all of you along with myself in this journey to know about the life stories of Lal Bahadur Shastri, which are largely unknown now. So the story actually begins with 2nd of October 1904 in a small town of Mughal Sarai in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, in the house of Sharda Prasad and Ram Dulari Devi. A young boy was born. Later on, there will be other siblings also. However, he was the second eldest among all his siblings. His name was Nanhe. This was the name by which he was known to his family members, to his relatives, and even to his first school also. However, he was just 1.5 years old when he lost his father due to the bubonic plague disease and had to shift to his maternal houses and had to pursue the schooling in the small local school. Later on, he got an opportunity to move to Varanasi to study for high school. But there was a story which completely changed his outlook. Actually, his name was Lal Bahadur Varma because his father's surname was that. We talk about this particular incident, that his surname was Varma and he had to change to Shastri. What is the story behind it? So guys, actually he asked his headmaster that why is he carrying a surname, because he wanted to remove that surname. His headmaster asked the question, why? Why do you want to do that? He told that I don't want to be recognized by my name, but I want to be recognized by what I have achieved. And this proved to be true when he obtained the degree of Shastri for completing his studies in philosophy and ethical knowledge. And then he started using his surname, the new surname, Shastri. So this is how Lal Bahadur Varma, a young boy, he became Lal Bahadur Shastri, a scholar and a future freedom fighter. Now let us talk about his journey as a freedom fighter. How did that journey start? In fact, this is the story of Lal Bahadur Shastri. He was hardly 17 years old, a student in the Harishchandra High School in Varanasi, when he got an opportunity to attend the meeting organized by Madan Mohan Malviya and Mahatma Gandhi. He was very inspired. In fact, the inspiration to the nationalism that came from the guidance and inspiration of his teacher in his early days, Mr. Nishkameshwar Prasad Mishra. However, getting the acquaintance and addressal as well as the encouragement during the non-cooperation movement, he became enthusiastic about participating in the freedom struggle, and he had to spend at least 3 months in the jail because of that. Coming out of the jail, he was now a student of Kashi Vidyapeeth. The Kashi Vidyapeeth was actually established by J.B. Kripalani, who was an ex-professor of Banaras Hindu University, and Shiv Prasad Gupta, who was a social activist in Varanasi. They were both blessed by the presence of Mahatma Gandhi, who himself had come to inaugurate this university, which was started to support the education of the nationalist youth in our country. Now, coming fast forward to 1928, and this was the time, in fact 1927, this was the time when he got married to Lalita Devi. In 1927, when he got married to Lalita Devi, who belonged to the city of Mirzapur, his marriage was a very simple, what we call as a Gandhian marriage. He had demanded nothing. Rather, he had discarded that anything should not be given in the form of dowry. But upon being insisted a lot, do you know what did he settle for? He agreed that he will take dowry, it's okay, but he will be accepting only a pair of khadi cloths and a charkha as the gift. Nothing else. Nothing else. This is actually the beginning of his devotional adherence, his devotional attachment to Mahatma Gandhi. In fact, there are the stories. In fact, one of the stories is during the civil disobedience movement, when he was lodged into the jail, he also had to suffer the bearing, also had to bear the sufferings of, getting resourceless completely, because the government was quite atrocious, as they used to detach or completely disown the properties, whichever properties or whatever source of income that the leaders at that moment they had. That entire source of income was completely snatched away by the government. That was the problem faced by not only Shastri ji, but also by his family. Lalita Devi ji, who was alone at the home, who was bearing all the pain and the sufferings due to Shastri ji being in the jail. Do you know, one day, Lalita Devi ji came to the jail to visit Shastri ji, and she has brought a mango with her. It was a mango with her, and she offered that mango to Shastri ji, but the rules of the jail manual suggested that nothing from outside could be given to an inmate, and this is illegal. Do you know, Shastri ji immediately scolded his wife for doing this illegal thing, and he also warned her that he will complain to the jailer about it. And after that, his wife was quite devastated and she left the place immediately. Afterwards, his fellow inmates started asking that, why did you do this to her? What was her mistake in that? What was her fault? At least you should have accepted it. And that is why before his wife left the place, the mango was taken by his inmate. And later on, do you know that Shastri ji gave that piece of mango to a prisoner who was serving the prison sentence for a 10 years imprisonment, who had not seen a mango in his last few years of the life. And later on, he wrote a letter to his wife asking for the forgiveness and also thanking her for being the source of encouragement to his principles, his morals, and making him capable enough to give the happiness to such a person who was longing for this happiness from several years. There are more stories related to Shastri ji. For example, when he was in the jail, he got to hear that his wife is a little bit ill, in fact, severely ill. Then, when she came to visit him, he instructed her that you have to take a glass full of milk every day in order to keep yourself healthy. Now, this was the order of the husband, her beloved husband. How could she deny that? But the poverty was also another obstacle. How could she overcome this poverty? So she got a solution for that. She asked her children to bring the smallest glass from the market, and they got a glass that was very small, only a few milliliters, right? Few milliliters of the liquid could be filled into that, and she started drinking a glass full of the milk from that particular class. You know what? This indicated that not only Shastri ji was responsible for the honest persona that he was carrying with himself, it was also his wife, his better half, who was equally responsible, who was equally self-respectful and equally devoted to the cause of honesty of Shastri ji. In fact, when Shastri ji got an opportunity to become a minister in the independent India's cabinet, because when India got independence, when the first elections took place, Shastri ji became the member of Legislative Assembly of Uttar Pradesh, but very soon he was called to the central ministry and was given the charge of Ministry of Transportation and Railways in the first cabinet, which was elected after the General Assembly's elections in 1951-52. And there was a program in Mughal Sarai related to some inauguration of the railway station, probably, which was also attended by Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. In fact, Shastri ji, he was not confident enough, he was not ready to inform that he is the minister of railway ministry even to his mother. However, somehow she got to know that there is a program related to the railway, and Shastri ji had told his mother that he works in the railway, he is a servant in that department. So his mother got to hear this news, and she came over to that place to see his own son also. So she started searching for Lal Bahadur. The people asked her that whom is she searching for? She told that I'm searching for Lal Bahadur, where is he? So people were surprised that they thought that probably this lady is just lying. But when they took her to the stage and showed that, is this your son? She said, yes, he is my son. Immediately, Shastri ji was surprised to see his mother on that particular place, and he just get off the stage, and also he told her that you should not have come to this place. This is a very crowded place. You should be going to home by now. And he sent her back to home. Later on, when the reporters asked that, why did you not tell her that you are the Minister of Railways? Shastri ji gave a very simple reply. He said that she is my mother. I could not deny what she says to me. But if she knew that I was a minister, she must have recommended a few people to give the jobs in the ministry or to take any other type of help. I could not have declined that as well. So that would have led for the dishonesty, and that's why I did not disclose this fact that I am the minister of this department. Later on, in fact, when he became the prime minister, there is also a very interesting story. Do you know one thing? When he became prime minister, it was actually not very clear that who will follow after the death of Pandit Nehru in 1964. In fact, at the same time, there was the government of Field Marshal Ayub Khan in Pakistan. He was actually planning to visit Delhi on the occasion of the demise of Pandit Nehru. But when he got to know that Shastri ji is heading to become the next prime minister as a caretaker prime minister, Mr. Gulzari Lal Nanda, he had denied to continue as the regular prime minister. Then Ayub Khan cancelled his visit to Delhi. What was the reason given for that? He gave the reason that who is there in Delhi to talk with? Now, this was extremely derogatory, extremely, you can say, disrespectful for a person like Shastri ji. But this was a regular habit for a person like Ayub Khan. And why so? Ayub Khan was retired, actually not retired, but he had shifted from the military to the politics. He was a 6 feet 2 inches tall person, a lanky and strongly built fellow who judged the people on the basis of their appearance. But Shastri ji, he was a person, an epitome of the simplicity. an epitome of the honesty and integrity towards the country. He did not react then, but later on he gave a statement that I have heard that Mr. Khan wants to stroll to Delhi after the control over our country. I will not give him a pain to walk on his feet. I will personally proceed towards Lahore to welcome him. Do you know, this was a satire thrown at Ayub Khan that he doesn't need to bother about, to think about taking over the Delhi. Rather, India is ready to take over to Lahore, and Shastriji will be reaching to Lahore to meet Ayub Khan personally. This was a high-sounding statement from the Prime Minister's position. However, when there was a journey, in fact, the journey to Cairo had been taken by Shastriji, and upon the return, he also got down at Karachi and visited Ayub Khan. But when he was visiting Ayub Khan in Karachi, even that time also, Ayub Khan was, almost mocking him, mocking his personality. It is recorded by the contemporary scholars that Ayub Khan had said that, is he the person who is the Prime Minister of India? Look at him. Actually, he was trying to mock his short stature, his short height. But later on, the history tells us something different. Very soon, actually, America had invited Shastriji, but later on, upon the insistence of Ayub Khan, the USA president, he denied, and in fact, he also asked the Shastriji to cancel his visit to United States. Later on, Shastriji visited Canada. However, when he was in Canada, he got an invitation from the President of United States to make a short visit to US, which he rejected because he had taken that insult personally, that he was not invited. And in fact, he was invited and later on his invitation was rejected. Okay. So guys, when we talk about some other incidents also, there is a very famous incident because everybody must be knowing about it. That rail accident had taken place, after which Shastriji had tendered his resignation from the position. But there is another great incident which took place. In fact, when the India-Pakistan war that was going on and the indomitable courage was displayed by the Indian army, because in 1962, the Indian army was humbled under the Chinese invasion. Therefore, Ayub Khan was thinking that this is the best position, as the military of India might be weak, or even Pandit Nehru has died, so there is no strong leadership in the central government of India. So he thought that it is the best time to invade, and he decided to invade India in the 1965. But he was met with a solid, resolute, and indomitable response by the armies of India. In fact, the superpowers of the world, they had to intervene to stop this tank-based war. Guys, let me tell you that 1965, that war of India and Pakistan, that was the largest war after the Second World War. So the superpowers of the world, they had to intervene in between, and there was a proposal of the peace which had to be signed at Tashkent in then USSR and currently in Uzbekistan. In that meeting, the USSR president also welcomed Shastriji, and there is a story again related to the esteemed personality of Shastriji. It is said that when the president of USSR saw that Shastriji is wearing the khadi coat, which was not enough to survive in the extremely chilling winters of Tashkent, so he offered a beautiful long overcoat to Shastriji. However, in the next day, when he saw that Shastriji is again wearing the same old coat, he asked very politely to Shastriji that, what happened? Was that coat not good for you? Did you not like that? Shastriji gave a reply that was simply blowing the minds away of the president of USSR. Shastri ji said that there is another member in our team who has nothing to sustain this cold, extremely cold weather. So I gifted this coat to him because I have something to wear on and I don't need anything extra. On hearing this thing, on listening this thing, then the president of USSR had given the statement that if we are the communists, Shastri ji, the Prime Minister of India, he is a super communist. He is a super socialist. Not only that, in fact, once again talking about Mr. Ayub Khan, he had become the fan of Lal Bahadur Shastri. In fact, unfortunate incidents took place on the 11th of January 1966, immediately on the next day after signing the Tashkent Treaty with Pakistan. Shastri ji suffered a massive heart attack and he could not be saved. There are various conspiracy theories also prevailing in the contemporary literature, contemporary intellectual circles, but it is still to be revealed that what was the exact reason, because there was no post-mortem conducted upon the dead body of Shastri ji as it is claimed by certain scholars. But do you know one thing? After the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, the two people who were giving their shoulders to the funeral of Shastri ji, those two people included the President of USSR and the Field Marshal cum President of Pakistan. Hardly there are any examples in the history where such staunch enemies, they have showcased such a level of impact, such a level of influence upon their other enemy, upon their nemesis. Shastri ji was able to impart this great influence upon Ayub Khan. Therefore, he gave that statement that here lies the man who could have brought India and Pakistan together. So guys, this small story is not enough to narrate the great journey, the great life, the spectacular character that Shastri ji had carried along with himself. On this day, 2nd of October, let us remember his indomitable courage, his impressive persona, and his absolute devotion towards the motherland to serve the people. And let us salute this legendary hero of our motherland. Thank you so much for watching this session. If you loved this session about Shastri ji, you can share this video with your friends also. And at the same time, you can also suggest me with other suggestions that in the next session, in the next series, whose story do you want to listen? Thank you so much.